Hey gals and guys, it's your host Phil Larson, and this is your Motivational High Five on Hope. Let's do this. Welcome to the first podcast I've ever done. This podcast is designed to be short and to the point, motivational material around 5 minutes, along with exercises that'll hopefully motivate you to start telling yourself some positive narratives and to thinking good things about yourself and wishing good things for yourself. First things first, I am Phil Larson. I was never popular in school. I wasn't unpopular, but I never had a ton of friends. The doctor that delivered me looked into my eyes and told my mom that I was too pretty to be a boy. I was always insecure around girls. I had one girlfriend for 2 months in the 9th grade before I met my wife. What I do for a profession, I'm a composer. My songs have been used by Toyota and Panasonic, to name a couple. I also work physically at and collaboratively with a video production and creative marketing firm called The Story Shop. One reason I'm doing this podcast, I need some motivation. I see people in my industry that haven't been doing this as long as I have, and they're passing me up. And they're finding success, and I look at them and I compare myself to them. And when I do that, I get stuck in this sort of fantasy. I wish I were them, and I daydream how I would do things differently if I had that success. If you find yourself coming to that same conclusion, then you might find yourself lacking some motivation as well. And if that is true, we could be onto something here. We both need this. I love to sleep in and I love to take my time. I get stuck scrolling endlessly through Facebook's news feed, and I've fallen in love with this narrative. You see, I've given myself an easy out by repeating that I'm not an early riser, that I'm a night owl. It's just not who I am. And another narrative that I've been letting define myself is I'm not an organized person. I love wearing the badge of honor saying that I'm this creative mind. I can't be tied down. I'm mysterious. And by saying I can't be understood is this cool sounding way to let myself off the hook and become okay with being lazy. Guys, I'm lazy. Another negative narrative that I've had to battle, and maybe even more so during this podcast, goes like this. I was a part of a job that ended in such a way that really did a number on my voice. I chose to believe this negative narrative that I don't have much to offer. And so I responded in such a way that for the next 3 years or so, I kind of remained in the background and played it safe. I lost a lot of hope and it dictated a lot of my actions. I've put forth a lot of effort to make these negative things that I've learned to believe about myself come to be reality. But I got some hope, guys. And the negative things that people have told us, the things that we've come to believe that have held us back. The newest research in brain chemistry tells us the more that's hammered into us, the stronger these pathways, these negative pathways become. And they become our go-to reactions to situations. But the hope lies in the power that we have to rewire our brains, because the research tells us as we begin to tell our own story and as we begin to own maybe the negative things that did happen, but also be able to recognize what was untrue about those negative narratives, we can actually reinforce a positive rewiring of our brain. So these pathways that have become so strong, we can start battling those with good wiring. And the way that works, research tells us, is either by telling our own story, when you're able to do that around people who are safe and who love you, but also the brain lights up in the same way as when we listen to other people's stories. If you think this is just unsound, unscientific fluff, then okay. And maybe this isn't the podcast for you, and that's fine. But if you're willing to hope for positive change in your life, I hope you hang out with me, and I hope, because hope is a motivating state of being. When we hope, we begin to rewire our brains into believing new narratives. In every episode, I want to end with a positive self-talk note, a way that you can actively participate. So I want you to look into a mirror. If you're in a car, please pull over and look into the rearview mirror or the sun visor mirror. If you're at home and you're doing your makeup or brushing your teeth, stop for a second and just stare. Me, I have my phone camera up and flipped to selfie mode. those negative narratives, they're loud, aren't they? We are going to start telling ourselves some positive ones, except you're going to say it in first person. So look into the mirror and say, I hope for good things for my life today. Go for it. Did you do it? If not, wait till you have space to do it. You'll be doing yourself a favor because you deserve good things in your life. Thank you for joining me for these 5 minutes. I want to remind you that you have the power to take back your life's narrative and to make it positive, but no one else does. It starts with you.